What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your $1,400 third stimulus check update and stimulus package update. They're nearing the finish line. They have just passed the bill on the congressional budget level and the House subcommittee level in the U.S. House of Representatives, and it goes to a final vote in the House of Representatives. I'm going to give you the latest details directly from the sources here in today's video. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on updates on the third stimulus check, as well as the other things we cover, such as the $3,000 to $3,600 child stimulus check that is included in addition in this third stimulus check package, as well as a possible $10,000 of student loan forgiveness, which they're trying to make even more, $200 per month Social Security increases, as well as the next stimulus package coming after this called the Build Back Better package. So make sure to subscribe down below, join our family, it's completely free to do so, and hit the like button for me because today is my 40th birthday. And wow, it's almost over. I'll be going to a nice dinner after I film this video, so hopefully that goes well. Okay, first up, let's hear directly from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on the progress and the details of the third stimulus check package coming out.
You probably saw last night the COVID bill that will go forward, and that legislation, we will crush the virus, vaccines in the arms, children in the schools, dollars in the pockets, workers into jobs, and it's really a very powerful piece of legislation. The Republicans say it's too much money. As our great President Joe Biden said, what would you cut? You want to take food off the table? This is about food on the table for tens of millions of families who are food insecure. Would you take off the money that we're putting there to help pay the rent for families that are housing insecure, and as we extend the moratorium on evictions and the rest? Would you cut the vaccines that we need to get in a way that addresses the disparity that has been out there in terms of communities of color? The further money that we have for testing and tracing, because it's not just about the vaccination, it's about everything that goes with it. Would you cut the money in the pockets of the American people, whether it is the unemployment insurance, the expanded benefit, and then on top of that, the direct payments?
And next, Nancy Pelosi speaks about the $15 an hour minimum wage, which we now have a counter proposal from the Republicans of an increase to a $10 an hour minimum wage. Remember, it's currently $7.25 on the federal level.
We had been in the fight for 15 for a while, and we were able to pass it in the House in the last Congress. But of course, the Senate, with Mitch McConnell, would just not bring it up, and nobody thought that what's his name would have signed it. The former occupant of the White House would have signed it. So this time, though, with the Democratic House, the Democratic Senate, and that now what we are waiting for, this is our mission. We are going to pass the $15 minimum wage. That's the fight we are in. What is the timing? Some of that depends on the rules of the Senate as to whether we can be sustained. We are fighting for it, though. And what we're trying to make the impression on the parliamentarian in the Senate who has to make the ruling as to whether this will be in the bill is its impact on our economy, on our budget.
The Senate parliamentarian, Elizabeth McDonough, who is the Senate parliamentarian, is expected to make her ruling on whether or not the $15 an hour minimum wage can be included in the Senate portion of the bill, which basically means whether or not it'll be included in the bill and can be passed through the budget reconciliation process, which means the Democrats can pass it completely on their own with 51 votes in the Senate. If she says that you cannot include a minimum wage bill in there, well, then that portion of the bill will probably be dead on arrival, and they will probably have to pass the bill without the $15 an hour minimum wage bill included. Next up, let's go to the Senate with Chuck Schumer, who is the Senate Majority Leader, the leader of the Democrats in the Senate, on the passage of the third stimulus check package bill.
On COVID, while the Senate will be busy fulfilling its constitutional duty to advise and consent on presidential nominees, Democrats remain hard at work preparing the desperately needed COVID relief bill. Our country is still in the throes of crisis. Yesterday, we passed that grim milestone, 500,000 deaths, a towering and incomprehensible figure. Millions of Americans have reported being thousands of dollars behind on rent, on utilities. Small businesses are hanging on for dear life. Vaccinating 330 million Americans as efficiently as possible is one of the most crucial and complex undertakings of our times. What we need to do now is put our foot on the gas to end the pandemic as quickly as possible, get our economy back to normal, and repair the damage that's been done. That's what the American Rescue Plan is all about. It'll deliver the resources to keep small businesses afloat, Americans in their homes, teachers, firefighters, and other essential employees in the public sector on the job. It'll send a direct check to Americans struggling with a once-in-a-lifetime financial burden. It'll boost vaccine distribution, and it'll provide funding and guidance for schools to reopen as quickly and safely as possible. That last point in particular should appeal to my Republican friends who have been raising concern about school closures. We all want the schools to reopen safely. We are all worried about the cost of virtual learning on children and parents. The solution is simple. It's not giving a speech here on the Senate floor. It's not criticizing teachers or school administrators. It's giving school districts the funding they need to reopen safely. It's expensive to reopen safely during the COVID crisis. We want to do it as quickly as possible. And it's hard to understand. Our Republican friends are saying, open up the schools, and I won't vote for any money for the schools to do just that. It's a complete contradiction.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer makes a good point. Republicans are saying, let's open schools, and we know schools need money, but we're not going to probably get a single Republican to vote yes on this third stimulus check package. That's kind of, does that make any sense to you? And I'm not picking sides here, but it's just like, it is kind of crazy that we're not going to see a single Republican vote yes on this third stimulus check package. And, well, I know my audience. I know you guys. I see your comments every day. There's millions of people struggling right now, and the Republicans aren't going to vote for it at all. There's not going to probably be a single Republican that will vote yes on this third stimulus check package. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments.
It's a complete contradiction. The Republican position seems to be that these difficult challenges will fix themselves, that we don't need any more aid, we did enough already. Anyone who knows anything about schools knows in the vast majority of schools in this country that is just not the case. So let our Republican friends put their votes where their speeches are, in helping the schools, in getting the money, in opening the schools safely, not in simply trying to make a political point and then trashing the schools without giving them the money they need. It makes no sense whatsoever. It's a total contradiction. Also, if we don't act, enhanced unemployment benefits will expire for millions of Americans in need. If we don't act, millions of struggling families will miss out on direct payments and an expansion of the child tax credit and the earned income tax credit. If we don't act, we risk the same long, slow, and painful recovery we experienced after the financial crisis in 2008, when Congress did too little to get our country back on track. The worst thing we could do would be to slow down now, before the race is won. We will not do that. Later this week, the House, and soon thereafter the Senate, will start working on President Biden's American Rescue Plan. Mayors, governors, economists from across the political spectrum agree it should be a sizable effort. Treasury Secretary Yellen told us, quote, "The smartest thing we can do is act big." Federal Chairman Powell warned that we're a long way off from full recovery and that the greater risk lies in doing too little rather than doing too much. Most importantly, the American people, in poll after poll, overwhelmingly approve of President Biden's American Rescue Plan. One of the last polls I saw showed a majority of Republicans, voters, citizens, Americans, Republican citizens, Republican Americans agree with this plan.
All right, so let me give you an update on exactly where we are with the passing process of the third stimulus check package. Remember, this is going through the reconciliation process, which has multiple sets of additional steps that are mostly done at this point. Last night, the House panel advanced the $1.9 trillion stimulus check package. As the Democrats are moving towards passing it this week, the House panel passed it yesterday on a subcommittee level with a vote of 19 to 16, basically across party lines. 19 Democrats voted yes, and 16 Republicans voted no. This advances it and now sets up the move for the passing of the bill on the U.S. House of Representatives level. While we're waiting on that, we're also expecting the Senate parliamentarian, Elizabeth McDonough, to give us her ruling possibly as early as tonight or tomorrow on the whether or not the $15 an hour minimum wage or any minimum wage increase at all, for that matter, can be included in this bill. If she votes no, well, basically, she has the fate of millions of Americans, whether it's good or bad, whether you like the $15 an hour minimum wage or you don't. This lady right here, as you can see on the screen, is pretty much deciding the fate for millions and millions of Americans. If she said yes, they're going to include it in this bill and try to pass it. If she says no, they probably cannot include it in this bill. They might still try, but I think it'll probably be dead on arrival. So we're expecting that decision here within the next 24 hours. That will be a big determining factor on what happens with the bill, whether or not they have to remove the provision on the $15 an hour minimum wage or not. Also, then we will have the U.S. House of Representatives pass it or vote on it and then pass it on the final vote in the U.S. House of Representatives this week, and while we wait for the Senate minimum wage decision. Republican Senator Susan Collins says today that not a single Republican will vote yes on this third stimulus check package in the Senate, coming directly from Republican Senator Susan Collins. And honestly, this is what we expect. We don't expect a single Republican to vote yes on this package in the House or the Senate. The entire Congress, not a single Republican will probably vote yes on this third stimulus check package. However, luckily for the American people, the Democrats can pass this completely on their own. And if the Democrats had not taken control of the Senate, well, then it's likely that we would have probably had to pass a much smaller bill, similar to that $600 billion bill that the Republicans offered, kind of as a counteroffer. But that did include $1,000 stimulus checks, which was the bulk of the bill. That would have been better than nothing, but it's surely not the $1.9 trillion stimulus package that we have now. $1,400 for adults, $1,400 for children, $1,400 for adult dependents and college student dependents, and an increase of the child tax credit, which is $3,000 to $3,600 per child that will be paid in monthly increments starting a few months from now, $250 to $300 per month per child. In addition to that, we have the unemployment raise of $400 per week that goes until the end of August. We also have an increase of SNAP, WIC, and EBT programs. We have over $30 billion for mortgage, rental assistance, property tax assistance, utility assistance. There's all sorts of different things in this third stimulus check package. I will be keeping you updated, so make sure to subscribe down below and join our family. It's completely free to do so. Click the bell icon to all notifications. Remember, new videos come out every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I filmed this video a little bit early because I am off to a nice dinner with my wife celebrating celebrating my 40th birthday. She decorated the house real nice, got a whole bunch of balloons, got a big sign for us, and put it out in the yard. Luckily, I didn't have 50 pink flamingos or cow udders on my front lawn. But yeah, it's kind of a milestone day. You only hit 40 once, and I'll never be able to go back to my 30s. So here's hoping for a good new decade, and I wish you guys lots of prosperity and happiness also. Also, you can see these new little Super Mario Brothers things, different from different Super Mario Brothers games. My wife just got me those today. They're actually all 3D printed, which I thought was really cool. I've loved video games my whole life. I grew up on them as a kid, and my wife played almost all these games with me. We love racing Mario Kart and Mario Sunshine, which is that one right there. And yeah, we played all of them. So yep, happy times. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA. I have dozens of students that have replaced their 9-to-5 income selling products on Amazon, and I teach them how to do that. Click on one of those videos to watch them next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.